Hello everyone, welcome back to my little house in Derbyshire. Welcome back to my channel. It's so good to see you here again. Today we're going to be talking about Ostara, the Spring Equinox that's coming up this week, and I'm going to be giving you a little tour of my altar, which you can see here in the background. I really hope you enjoy looking at it as much as I've enjoyed putting it together. So let's get started. Here's my altar space before I actually started putting together the Spring Ostara altar. You can see that it's a little bit lackluster. It needs a good clean, a good tidy, and it definitely needs refreshing. I have this altar out all year round. This is the one that I tend to use for Sabbats, but it's definitely got some winter energy about it now that needs sorting out. So here is my Ostara altar for this year. I had great fun putting it together and I really hope you enjoy looking at it, so I'll take you around it. The space itself is actually this cabinet that I bought in a second-hand shop. Was really lucky to find it. It cost next to nothing and it's just perfect with the cupboard space underneath and the drawer to keep bits and bobs in. I was very lucky to find that. And so the base of the display is this lovely green velvet cloth that is such a pretty colour. Just reminds me of spring straight away, so that's an obvious addition to the space, I think. And starting from the back, the first thing I wanted to talk about is you might remember in my last video about my book of shadows that I spoke about being able to find some fantastic art pages for download on Etsy. And just after we'd spoken the last time, I found this gorgeous series of downloads. So I printed them out and put them in my book. Now, I could have done something myself, but I'm nowhere near that talented. So I thought that these were a lovely little treat. And they're only a couple of pounds and you can use them as often as you want. And they look so pretty and the writing's so beautiful. The words are lovely. So I thought, yeah, they're going to go in my book of shadows. And one of the things I did, because I loved one of the images so much, was I popped it in this little frame. It's just adorable, absolutely beautiful. So that looks really lovely in this old frame that I usually have something else in it, but I thought for Ostara this year it deserves this lovely picture, so there it is. Okay, so I've got a little tree that I've decorated with eggs and bunnies and ribbons and just really pretty bits and pieces, because we're celebrating the equinox, the spring equinox. We're talking about new life, we're talking about new potential, we're talking about new beginnings. So all these little things on the altar are to do with that. And the tree's something I've not had before, but I've bought it on the basis that I'm going to be using it again and again for different seasons, and I just love how it looks. It looks so pretty. I'm so chuffed with it. Okay, in the top right corner, you might have seen this if you've seen my Samhain video. This is my tree photo frame with my ancestors in it. Now, I bought this at Samhain last year because I wanted to feature my ancestors heavily on my altar at that time. But it's so lovely and I enjoyed putting it together so much, finding the photos and learning the stories behind them, that I just now want this to feature all the time on my altar. So it's had a good polish and here it is, and I absolutely love it. I just think it's one of my favourite things ever that I've bought, and it was, as I say, most things that I've picked up are next to nothing in cost, and this is no exception. It was less than £10, I think, and it's just absolutely lovely. And I love being able to just look at my ancestors every time I walk past my altar. I love it. Okay, I've got some honey in a little honey pot. Now this honey is from my lovely friend who is a beekeeper. How fabulous is that? And I've got the honey on here as a little offering in my little pot. There's my stag here to represent male energy, and at the front here I've got my little oil burner. These little hearts are little wax melts, and I just love them because of the spring colours, and they smell absolutely gorgeous. I'll be burning some of those later, but for now it's the colour that they're here for because they're so pretty. There's a little crystal skull here in the corner. Moving along to the front, okay, here's my rose quartz skull and my little athame, however you choose to pronounce it, that's how I pronounce it. I've had it years, pretty much since I started crafting, and it's only tiny, but I absolutely love it and it does the job for me. There's my little candle snuffer, because there are lots of candles on this altar this year. So we've got pink, yellow, and the lovely ivory ones as well. And a little rabbit that my husband bought for me in Bakewell on Monday. He's so cute and he just had to come on the altar. I've got some fresh eggs here. Now, these are the only two I've got, and they're going to end up in the Yorkshire pudding later. So they're only here for the moment. I will be replacing them later, but eggs are obviously a really important symbol of Ostara. We're celebrating new life and new beginnings, so the egg is the perfect symbol of that. I've got my lovely selenite tower that was a gift from my best friend. This normally lives on my hallway altar, but I just thought it was so pretty that it needed to be on the altar for Ostara. Now, the card I've chosen to go on the altar is this one. This is from the Goddess Dreams Oracle by Wendy Andrew, which is an absolutely beautiful set. If you've never seen it before, it's stunning, and I highly recommend that you have a look at it. And I just thought that this card, the New Beginnings, was all about spring, taking a fresh look at life, a new perspective. And I just love the imagery of it. It just looks so hopeful and so full of life. So that's why it's on the altar. And it's in my little rabbit card holder as normal. So my lovely silver pentacle is here, and I bought that from Curious Goods in Chesterfield, where I took you to a couple of weeks ago. Curious Goods is always great for picking up really beautiful witchy bits and pieces. If you feel like treating yourself to something really nice, you can always find something fabulous in there. More rabbits. I love this one. I've had this one a number of years. I got him from, I think he came from Dunelm, the homewares shop that we have here in the UK. And he's lovely. He's kind of bronze, and yeah, he's quite heavy actually, and he looks really cute on the altar. So moving around, some more candles. The little silver bell that I got in Pendle. Another skull, and the reason I've got the skulls on here is because we're celebrating the equinox, and it's all about the balance between dark and light. Now, there's lots of pretty colours on here and brightness and really sweet little things, but the equinox reminds us that dark and light go hand in hand. So for me, it's important to acknowledge the darkness as well as the light. It might not be important for you, but it is for me. If the two go hand in hand, you can't have one without the other. So that's why there are skulls on here, as well as lots of pretty things. But I mean, I happen to think skulls are really pretty anyway, so yeah. My wand is on here. My Rowan wand that was given to me by a lovely friend. And my chalice is here as well. Hope you can see it. My silver chalice that has also had a good polish for the occasion. It's looking really, really pretty. And there's also a lovely bunch of fresh flowers, some tiny daffodils, tulips, carnations, baby's breath, and I just think that they look really pretty. The colours together look really, really nice. So I think as far as what's on here goes, that's it, and I really hope that you've enjoyed looking at it. Here's the pages that I downloaded from Etsy to go in my book of shadows. I thought you might like a closer look at them. They're so pretty. I'm honestly really, really chuffed to bits with these because they were so cheap and so easy to download and print. And as I say, I'm not that talented an artist. There's no way I could produce something anywhere near as beautiful as this. And I just thought it was a really nice little treat. So yeah, I went for it and I'm so glad I did. So the imagery and artwork is beautiful. There's a page about what we're actually celebrating and what we're looking forward to. And there's pages on Ostara correspondences, so crystals, flowers, plants, foods and drinks, incenses, colours, lots and lots of information. And there's also a page on altar and magic work, ideas for your altar, ideas for magic, and ideas for setting up your own altar. And finally, there's a little Ostara ritual. I've checked it through and it's really nice, it's really simple, and it would be easy for anybody to follow. And finally, there's a page on Ostara prayers and blessings that might be really useful. There's one there that I particularly like. I really like this one up at the top, the garden blessing. I'm planning to start putting my own garden together soon for the coming season. So I really, really like this. So I think I might actually write this out and put this under one of my plant pots when I actually get started. Here's another little book that I would wholeheartedly recommend to anybody who's just starting out along the path of the witch. Now this is part of a series. There are 18 total, one for each Sabbath, and I've got them all, but a couple of them I refer to more than any others, particularly the Samhain one and the Beltane one, but the Ostara one is also lovely, and they all follow the same format. There's chapters on the Wheel of the Year and on the origins of the festivals, and there are sections on blessings, rituals, food and drink, spells, and they're really lovely. They're a really nice size. I think they come in at around £7 or £8 each, or at least they did when I was buying them. But they are the Llewellyn Sabbath's guides, and there are 18 total, and you can get them second hand. Of course, you can get them on Amazon like everything else these days. But yeah, they're definitely worth a look. Here's the Goddess Dream Oracle that I mentioned when I was talking you through my altar. It's by Wendy Andrew, and it's one of my absolute favourite decks. I tend to prefer tarot to oracle, but sometimes I make an exception because these are absolutely lovely. Now my box is a bit battered, it's seen better days, but it doesn't matter because the cards inside are still perfect. And if you've seen Wendy Andrews' work, you've probably seen it on greetings cards, and she does a really beautiful calendar every year as well. But she did the Goddess Dream Oracle a few years ago, and I had to have it because it's just stunning. The cards are absolutely lovely, really lovely imagery, and really easy to read. Really, really clear pictures. I'll just tip these out, actually, it might make it a bit easier. Even the back of the cards is lovely as well. So yeah, I would definitely recommend giving these a go. They're also really nice for a weekly draw. or a daily draw if you like. I tend to do one weekly, just to pull out and to meditate on and to think about what the card means to you, not necessarily using the guidebook, which is also really, really lovely. Is also really easy to read and understand. Each of the cards is in full colour, which I really like. I really like that this abundance one keeps popping up. Yeah, so this is absolutely gorgeous, and I think it's another really lovely set to treat yourself to if you're in the market for another guide or oracle deck. And let's face it, we all are all the time. I really hope that you've enjoyed looking at my altar. I really enjoyed taking you around it. Now, it can't be reiterated enough that when you put an altar together for yourself, what needs to be on there is only what matters to you. It doesn't matter if it's really elaborate, doesn't matter if it's a single candle burning on a windowsill, it doesn't matter if it's a little image inside your head. As long as it talks to you, it matters to you, and it represents what you want it to, that's all that matters. You're always welcome to use anything that you've seen in my videos. I don't mind at all. You can take it and use it in whatever way you want. You can make it your own, and as long as it brings you happiness, that's all I'm bothered about. That's the only reason I'm here. Having said that, I just want to say again, thank you so much to everybody who's been here during this last week, who's subscribed to my channel, who's left lovely, lovely comments. It's just lifted my spirits so much. Thank you so much. And if you're new here, you're welcome. This is a safe space, and I'm just delighted that you found me. And if you please consider subscribing to my channel, I'd absolutely love that. And if you give this video a little thumbs up, I'd love that too. Thank you so much. I hope you have a really happy week, and I'll see you next week when we're going to be talking about my top 5 witchcraft books, which I really hope you'll enjoy. And until then, have a really happy week celebrating the spring equinox, and I really hope that the year ahead brings you everything you're wishing for. See you next week. Thank you for being here, and blessed be.